Hi, everyone. My name is Lauren Mesley. I'm here representing the Bloomingdale branch of the New York Public Library, and today I'm going to talk about my marketing campaign titled Gavin for Governor. I want to start by giving you guys some basic information about this campaign. This is going to be a 2-month-long social media campaign aimed at teaching teens news literacy skills as well as how to spot election misinformation online. Let's talk about the fine details. Our target audience is going to be our teen patrons, those aged 13 to 18, who reside in New York City's Upper West Side, which is the neighborhood our branch is located in. Educating teens about misinformation is really important. Why, you ask? Elliott 2025 writes that for the first time in history, the number of Americans getting their news from social media and video platforms is larger than those getting their news from TV networks and news websites. One of the trends researchers are seeing is what they are calling the alternative media ecosystem, which basically means that not only are people getting their news from social media, but these people are getting their social media news from influencers rather than vetted news outlets. Relatedly, the World Economic Forum's 2025 Global Risks Report has calculated misinformation and disinformation as the most severe short-term global risk, ranking higher even than extreme weather events. With more Americans getting their news online and misinformation being one of the highest risks to humanity, this is a campaign that is needed now more than ever. Okay, let's move on from the doom and gloom and talk about our beautiful library. In the bottom left of my poster, you'll find some facts and figures about the library itself and the community it serves. On the first floor, you'll find the adult collection and the teen center, and the children's room takes up just about the entire second floor. Amongst the circulating collection and library programming, Bloomingdale collaborates with lots of community partners to arrange class visits with nearby schools, host tax filing services during tax season, and houses the neighborhood archive. Our service population varies widely. We have patrons who live in doorman buildings on Central Park West. We have patrons who live in the nearby housing projects, and we have patrons in every tax bracket in between. While the Upper West Side is a majority white neighborhood, our branch is located in close proximity to Harlem, a historically Black neighborhood, and the library sees this diversity reflected in its patronage. To get to know the residents of the Upper West Side better, let's have a look at the project's namesake, Gavin. For this campaign, Gavin is serving as both our protagonist and also a key segment of the target audience. In this graphic on my poster here, we can see some of Gavin's consumer habits, values, interests, and challenges. Gavin tends to shop in-store rather than online. He tends to use his spending money for snacks and new clothes. His preferred communication style is text, and like most teens, Gavin makes decisions based on what will make him look cool in front of his friends. Gavin likes to hang out with his friends in Central Park. He's interested in video games, board games, and baseball. He values time with his friends and time to relax. We have a list here of some of Gavin's concerns, the first being that Gavin's friends might have to move out of the city if rent gets any more expensive. One of the top concerns of this neighborhood is that rent is getting too high. The gaming club at Gavin's school has to be disbanded because of budget cuts, another important neighborhood concern. Gavin is worried that some of his friends are not eating enough at home. We know that over 25% of the neighborhood is food insecure. The good news for Gavin is that our library has teen video game and board game programming twice a week. Gavin is welcome to hang out in the library with his friends during bad weather when he's not able to be in Central Park. And the library also has free online and print resources with information about food banks. Back to the campaign. Let's talk about the marketing strategy. The next upcoming election day will be on Tuesday, November 3rd, 2026. This campaign will be launched on social media the 2 months before that day on September 1st. The campaign will be made up of weekly short-form videos posted to TikTok and Instagram. There will be 10 videos in total, all of which will link to the library's Guide to Misinformation webpage, where users will be able to read about the ways to identify election misinformation online and practice their newly learned skills. This campaign has 2 goals. In 2 months, we aim to increase teen engagement on library social media by 10% and receive 5,000 clicks on the Guide to Misinformation webpage. We're going to measure these goals in a few different ways. Using Sprout Social, Hootsuite, and Google Analytics, we will measure user engagement metrics and behavior analytics on social media posts as well as on our webpage. We'll also use these tools to conduct A/B testing of our content to see which videos are leading to more click-throughs to the webpage and adjust accordingly. Of course, really, our goal is also to teach teens how to identify election misinformation online. While the success of this isn't as easily measurable, we will attempt to gauge this by conducting pre- and post-campaign surveys via polls on Instagram stories. Last but not least, let's talk about the story we're going to tell. The New York State governor will be elected in this upcoming election. So, this story will follow Gavin, our goofball teen influencer who decides to run for governor just for the bit. And you're thinking, a 16-year-old boy as governor of New York? Indeed, that is our hook. Our story begins with the first short form video where Gavin makes his announcement that he's running for governor and soon thereafter rapidly starts spreading election misinformation. To give you an idea of the type of misinformation he'll be spreading, I've listed a few examples in the digital assets section of the poster. He begins spreading the news that the voting age is now 15. He says there will be a question on the ballot about statewide mandated school uniforms. Gavin promises to pass a law that makes it illegal for teachers to claim students are cheating if they use AI to write their papers. Throughout Gavin's videos, black screens with white text interrupt Gavin to debunk everything he's saying. This is our second character, Librarian. Librarian is an omniscient narrator and fact checker who ruins all of Gavin's videos with the truth. As Gavin starts to notice that his videos are being fact checked, he grows increasingly frustrated until, in the end, Gavin crashes out and rage quits social media. Librarian claims victory over in his last video, employing the message the library is here to stop misinformation in its tracks. The last video will be released on Election Day and marks the end of the campaign. One thing I want to note is that Librarian is actually not teaching users how to spot misinformation in these videos. She is just identifying it herself and calling Gavin out on it. At the end of each video, she also encourages users to visit the library website to learn ways to spot misinformation. I think this is going to be a more effective method than just making educational videos about how to spot misinformation because nobody opens social media to watch ads. They want to watch content. And by keeping in line with the 80-20 rule, I think we're going to see more engagement with this campaign. I hope this is just the start of misinformation and news literacy marketing campaigns because I do feel that all age groups need help in this area. And even for people who have the critical thinking skills to judge whether something is fact or fiction, AI is only going to make it harder to identify. And we want to spread the word that the library is here for anyone who wants to learn how to spot it. That concludes my presentation. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.